Mrs. M. Priyadarshini, ME MBA, is doing PhD, is currently working as teaching fellow in the Department of IST, Anna University, Chennai. She completed a master's in software engineering from Anna University. She has about 10 years of experience in handling courses for UG and PG. She was serving as technical evangelist for corporate over 4 years in Java Enterprise Technologies, software engineering, databases, OOAD, and design patterns. She is proficient in handling IT projects as well into concept development for enterprises. She is doing a research in the area of web services security. Her other areas of interest include software engineering, OOAD, databases, enterprise technologies, and service-oriented architecture. She holds many journal publications and conference proceedings in her research area.
Welcome to UGC lecture series in Computer Science Java Part 2. So in your previous session, we have seen about evolution of Java. So about Java programming language, the architecture of Java, basics of a Java program, about various data types, variables and control structures. So we have already seen few control structures and we are yet to see few control structures. So in today's session, we are going to see about various control structures, that is your for loop and decision making statements, and then we are going to see about installation, how to set the path, class path, and how to compile and execute a Java program. So first we will have a look on what is your for loop. So for loop, you have an initialization, your Boolean expression, and then what update need to be done for each loop execution and the set of statements that need to be executed. So we have statements break and continue. So break statement is used to break the for loop currently we are in, and continue statement continues the iteration without executing the statements below the continue statement within the loop. If you see this particular sample program, you can see we have a for loop, we have an initialization statement int I is equal to 0 and I less than 10. So this is your condition, and I plus plus, this is the update that happens at each loop execution. So this initialization process, it's not necessary for you to initialize as well as declare this here. So what you can do is you can just declare it and declare it previously before that of your for loop, and then you can initialize the values over here also. So in statement your initialization int I can be written here, and then your assignment could be done here, and this is the condition, the stopping condition for your for loop. Till this particular condition is encountered, your loop will be continuing. So this will be checked for each and every execution. Next, I plus plus is the update that happens at the end of each loop. So once I execute the loop, next time whenever I enter into the loop, this update will get executed as well as this will be checked for. So with respect to decision making statements, we have two types of decision making statements, if statements and switch case statement. So normally if statement is used when we have a particular condition or set of condition that need to be checked in order to execute a set of statements. So if I have a particular condition to be checked, based on the condition I need to execute two set of statements. If yes or true, I have to execute a set of statements, and if no, I have to execute another set of statements. So in that cases I can go in for using if loop. And in cases if I have multiple conditions to be checked, I can have two conditions, and along with that I can use different operators like logical operators, and then I can try to combine the condition. So if I have two conditions, if both has to be checked for, I can use and if I want both condition to be checked and if any one of the condition is true, I need to execute the statement, so then I can use or. And if I want to check for not equal, that is not equality, so in that case I can use not operator. So these are all the operators which could be used in order to handle a decision. So conditions can be combined together in order to formulate a decision. So or else if I want one set of statement to be executed for a particular condition, in else case I have various set of conditions that need to be checked. So in that case I use if else if statement. So I will have a if condition, true means I will have a set of statement, else in that else part I have many conditions that could be checked. So, it means that we can have a nested if then statements. So, a combination of if then statements. So, you can see the syntax of if statement here. So, if I am checking for a Boolean expression. So, if it is true, this particular set of statements will get executed, else if I can have a set of conditions. So, else if I can check for this Boolean expression and then if true. So, it means that this is false and this is true. If this is true, this set of statements will execute. If it is false, this comes to else part, and here if statement will be checked for. If it is true, then this set of statements will be executed, else your else part. So, you can keep on nesting the else if. Inside this you can have another else if, you can continue with this. You should see to that you should not have an ambiguous execution. So, it means that there is a limit for nesting your if statements, but it is always legal to nest if else statements. So, it is not illegal to have an if else statement, but we should see to that you should not nest more number of if statements and make the execution to be ambiguous. So, you can see as a demo program here. Here we have a condition to be checked, and if false I can go in for other set of conditions. So, that is why we have used if else if. So, if I am checking for the test score and else if I am checking for the test score and else if. So, it means that if this is false and then this any of these may be true. So, I can enter into false, and then here also I have many if statements. So, if my condition test score greater than or equal to 90 is false, then it goes to else if statement, otherwise this statement will get executed. And inside my else if I have series of else if statements. So, each and every conditions will be checked. Finally, if all the cases are false, so then I will get into final else statement. At the end of this I have given a set of statements, this will always be executed. So, next we will move into switch statement. So, switch statement allows a variable to be tested for equality against a list of values. Each value is called a case and the variable being switched on is checked for each case. So, when you consider your switch case statement, so case is nothing but the sequence collection of statements. So, I have a condition based on which I switch into various set of statements. So, that particular condition will yield or can yield a list of values. So, based on the list of values which value we have, so that particular set of case statements will be executed. So, whenever I have a variable that need to be checked against a list of values, so in that case I can use switch case statement, and then there is a default also available, which means that if any of the case is not true, I do not have the list of values that matches with any of the case statements, then I go in for default. So, the default loop will be executed. So, you can see here we have an syntax here, switch, we have an expression. So, the expression will yield a value. That value could be checked against each of the case values. So, if that matches with these case values, so then these set of statements will be executed. So, here I have a break statement so that I need not go to my next case. So, once these statements get executed, so I can just break out from a switch case statement. So, but whereas your break is optional, it is not necessary that you should always have your break statement, because if you have not given your break statement, then other case values will also be checked for. And finally, you can have any number of case values, and finally you have a default which is optional. So, we can have a default set of statement that need to be executed if your expression does not match with any of the values. So, we will see a sample program here. So, here we are checking for whether the number to obtain number of days based on the year. So, and then the month. So, here I am switching based on my month. So, when my month value, the value of the month is 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10 and 12. So, I have this statement, that is number of days is assigned to be 31. So, and then I break. If the month falls in any of these values, this will be executed and this break will be executed, and then I will come out of my switch case statement. If it goes to next case, that is 4, 6, 9 and 11, the number of days will be assigned to 30, and after this break I will come to the end of my switch statement. If case 2, so then I have an if statements which checks for whether the year which you are checking is a leap year or not. If it is a leap year, so then I assign the value to be 29 or my number of days to be 28. So, now what we will do is we will have a look on how to install and run a Java program. So before entering into the installation and running a Java program, just we can have a recap of what we have already seen in your previous session. So which is necessary in order to know about installing and running a Java program. So already we have seen that whenever you have a Java program, the Java program need to be compiled, and on compilation we will create a class file. So the class file is nothing but bytecode representation of your Java file. So whenever we write a Java program, we write the Java program with an extension of .java. So you can use any IDEs, integrated development environment, or you can directly have a notepad. You can write your Java program, whatever you like to write, and then you can save it with the extension of .java. So we can have a Java file. That file could be compiled and it can be converted into .class file. So in order to convert that into .class file, our compilation process needs a compiler javac. So and then after I compile that, my class file is available and it could be run on a JVM. So we have already seen that JVM is a platform independent component, and this component accepts the bytecode as input and then it tries to run your program. So for running the program we need Java. So Java is an executable, javac is an executable. So this Java as well as your javac need to be configured in the particular directory in which you like to run your program. So always Java will be packaged in form of .jar file. JAR is nothing but Java archive file. So these are all the basic things that is needed in order to run your Java program. So whenever I want to run a Java program, I need a bundle. So my Java development kit. So this Java development kit need to be available in your system in which you try to run your Java program. And as already told, whenever I install the particular JVM, that JVM will be installed according to the system platform and the architecture currently I am using. So I can download my I can download my Java software. This Java software could be installed on any platform, on any architecture. So whenever I download that, I have to see to that whether I am using my program only for executing a Java program or developing a Java program, or I am going to use that as a server. That is my JRE along with the server capabilities. So these are all basic things I should know, whereas my Java development kit has a set of APIs, Java's own APIs. So set of packages in Java is available which will help you in developing a Java program. So Java, you know already, it's a reusable thing, and then you can extend all the classes and interfaces that is available in Java. So the packages that is available in Java will help you in developing a program which is needed for a particular type of application. So for example, if I want to access all input output files, so then I can have an IO package. I can use the classes that is available in the IO package. Similarly for networking, I can go in for net package, and for database connectivity I can go in for SQL package. So all these set of classes and interfaces necessary for me in order to develop an application is available as a set of APIs that is given by Sun. So Sun provides us with a set of Java APIs. So these APIs need to be downloaded. So that is available in your Java software, as well as the other component that is available in your Java software is your Java runtime environment, where your threads are created and all your programs, running your programs, after compilation your class files, all these things are generated and run on your system based on the version of your Java software that you have loaded. So whenever I say Java software, it means that combination of all these. You are going to create a Java virtual machine on your system, and then you will have a runtime environment, and then you have associated components that we have seen in already your previous session. So we have a set of components like your class loader, your bytecode verifier, like this. So all these components together will be loaded in your system. So that system available in the home directory, Java's home directory. You can set a particular directory as the home directory for your Java. So now we will have a short break and then we will continue with how to download and install a Java program. So now we can continue. with how to install and run a Java program. So first we will see how your Java software could be downloaded. So you know that already Sun was providing us with a set of Java APIs that is needed in order to create your applications. So now it has been acquired by Oracle, and Oracle is providing us with all the facilities what we have, all the packages that what we have. Now the latest version what we are using is Java 7, and in order to download the Java software you can use the following link. So this is available in your Oracle website, and you can just go and see, you can see that Java SE. So Java SE is your software development package or kit, Java SE. So this is Java Standard Edition. So Standard Edition has basic core Java functionalities that is necessary in order to develop a core Java application. So here you can see Java Development Kit. So for it is particularly for Java developers. It includes complete JRE. So we have Java Runtime Environment plus tools for developing, debugging and monitoring the Java application. So this will help you in developing a Java application. If you want to debug, so then we have options for debugging and we have options for monitoring the Java application. So we can also download Server JRE. So Server Java Runtime Environment, this is used for developing Java applications on servers. So on server, it includes tools for JVM monitoring and tools commonly required for server application, but does not include browser integration, that is the Java plugin, auto update nor an installer. So these are all the components that are not available in your Server JRE, that is it does not include browser integration, auto update as well as it's not an installer also. So this will have your facilities to JVM monitoring and also your server application. Next is your Java Runtime Environment, covers most end user needs. So contains everything required to run a Java program on your system. So you can see that here in your JDK, whenever you download JDK, it means that you can develop a Java program, you can debug as well as it will help you in monitoring the Java application. Whereas if you download your Server JRE, so this will help you in developing the server components of your Java. So that is your Java Runtime Environment. So here you can see that whenever you download only JRE, it covers only the end user needs. So this is not suitable for the development. So it means that just whenever you already have a Java application being developed, you have developed already a Java application. So I already told you that it will be in form of JAR. So if I want to just download the JAR file and then I want to run the particular file, so it's enough if I have JRE in my system. It's not necessary for me to have a JDK. So JDK is meant for development, whereas your JRE is meant for running your Java program. So for example, if I am an organization in which I develop Java projects, so I can download JDK. If at all I am a client who is going to use the Java application that is already developed, so in that case just I can have JRE in my system. So based on that I should download it, whether I need a JRE or whether I need a Server JRE or I need the entire JDK for development as well as for running my Java program. So you can see that this particular exe file will get downloaded. So you can save this file. So once we save that file, just you can run this. So you know that this is an executable and then you can run this file. So this is provided by Oracle, and then once you run this program, it means that you are trying to install the Java Standard Edition, Java SE on your system. So Java Standard Edition is meant for developing Java application which is not a web application, or it is also not an enterprise application. So if I want to develop a web application, so I need some server components, and if I want to develop enterprise application, so in that case also I need all the server components that is needed to develop and deploy the enterprise components. So in that case I need to download J2EE, that is Java 2 Enterprise Edition. So Enterprise Edition will help developers in developing a web application, or it will help developing in the enterprise application. So I think you know what is difference between a web application and an enterprise application. So web application is meant to be loaded on web, and it is particularly for sending requests and responses in form of HTTP. So, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. So, you have seen that we are using lot of web applications today in order to make our online transaction, online applications, as well as all the server side programs that we write could be developed using only J2EE. So, more than that, we also have few components which is very suitable for our enterprise. So, enterprise means we need to have an application server on which I could run the Java program. So, this whenever I say enterprise, everything in large scale. So, if I have a web application, hardly I can use particular limitations of requests and responses. If it goes beyond a limit, and if you need many users, many clients to make a request and response, and you have few application components, more specific application components for your enterprise, so then in that case I can develop a enterprise application. So, my web application in Java will be with an extension of .war, that is web archive. If I am going to develop an enterprise application, so then the extension of that file will be .ear, enterprise archive. So, there are 3 different applications that could be developed in Java. So, whatever that we are seeing now, using this you can just develop only the core Java, that is the Java application which has the core functionality, not web or not the enterprise. So, in that cases we are in need of J2EE. So, now what we are discussing about is how to download a Java to standard edition and then develop the Java standalone applications. So, even we can write networking application, but that could also not be a web application. So, this is step 1. So, this will guide you in installing your software. So, installation process, so it needs an home directory where your Java is getting installed. So, normally this will be C:, and program files. In that a folder called Java will be created, and in that all your JDK components will be installed. So, this is by default you will have C:, program files, Java and your version of it. But whereas if you need to change it, just you can take the option of change, and then you can change the directory in which your Java could be installed. So, in one particular system I can install various JVMs. It is not necessary that in only one version of Java could be installed and only one JRE could be installed. So, you know that since it is a JVM, virtual machine, you can create as many as virtual machines in one particular hardware component. So, if I have a system, in that system I can have various version of my JREs running. So, in that case what I can do, if I have already installed a particular version of Java in any of my directories, so I can use the alternate directory and create an other JVM in that particular directory. So, this option you can just change the directory where your Java could be installed. So, after you install your Java, you can see that your home, Java home, that is your inside your C:, program files, Java, JDK, and then you have a folder called bin. So, this bin folder has all the executables. You can see that you have Javac here. So, Javac, already I told you that it is used for compilation purpose, and then for creation of your jar you have all the executables which are needed in order to compile and execute your Java program. So, you can see this will be installed in the home directory, whichever directory that you have chosen. So, this Javac is available in C:, program files, Java, JDK and bin. So, we have already seen that we are in another directory where we have a Java program. So, it is not always that we have to put all your programs inside your bin. So, I need to put my Java application in any of my folders. It may be in D:, it may be in E:. Inside that I would have created a folder and I have all my applications inside that. So, in that case, from all the directories wherever I have my Java program, I need to use this Javac. So, this Javac is available only in the C:, program files, Java, JDK, bin, as we have seen. So, on the home directory. So, but I want this Javac to be run from all Javac executable to be run from any of my directories. So, if I am in a particular directory, I want that Javac to be executed in that particular directory, then I need to have a variable to be set called my path. So path is the variable which is used in order to state where your Java C is available. So Java C executable is available. So initially when you try to access this Java C, so we are opening a command window. So you know that this command window could be open from your start menu. So from your start menu you can just type cmd and that will open a command window. So now the cmd.exe we can use your DOS, all your DOS functionalities. So here we are trying to access the Java C, that is the Java compiler. So in that case we can see that Java C is not recognized as an internal or external command operable program or batch file. So it means that now your Java C is not configured. So we are not able to run the Java C executable from this particular directory. So in this case we have to set a variable called path. So you can see here on command window set path with value of the installed directory. So our particular command window and then your prompt set path is equal to I am setting the particular path. So this path ends with delimiter semicolon, and if I want all the subdirectories of this particular directory also to be applied with this path, I use dot and semicolon. So it means that all your directories, subdirectories that belonging to this particular root directory, also for that also this particular path is applicable. So now once I set this path, it means that my Java C could be run from any of the subdirectories or from this subdirectory. So even what I can do is I can say set path is equal to percentage path and percentage. Before starting my direct path, I can also give percentage path percentage and then I can continue with this. So in that case the path which is already been assigned also will not get affected, and this will be added along with the already available or already set path value. If I directly give the particular path, so then whatever the path value that is already set by your environment will not be working. So in some cases it's better to use directly. So if your aim is only to run this program at this particular command window, so and I don't want this to change your environment variable, so in that case just I can give directly this path. Otherwise I can give path percentage path percentage colon. So once this gets enabled, your Java compilation gets enabled, next I need to run the program. So for running the program, you know that we need Java. So we need Java executable, and also the class loader component requires all the classes to be loaded. That may be user defined classes or that may be the classes that is given by Java API. So in that cases my class loader component need to have the path to be set in order to load all the classes that is needed in order to run my particular application. So in that case I need to set an environment variable called class path. So this class path will tell the class loader where the particular set of classes which is needed for this application could be loaded. So in that case, even for example from net, if I download any jar file and that is needed in order to run my program, just I can include that in my class path along with the basic class path of Java API, because the class loader is going to load both the classes that is given by Java Sun as well as the classes that the user has defined. So in that cases my class path should have my Java home as the path as well as the other jar files that is needed in order to run the program. So you can see that set class path, the same path I have set. If any jar files are needed, just I can also include all the jar files where all the classes that is necessary to run my program is available. So the alternate way of setting the class path. So one is for if I want only that particular command window, that particular session to have all these Java need to be executed, I can do that in the command window. But once the command window is closed, that values will not be further recovered. So whenever I open a command window, I need to set the path and class path. But I want this to happen permanently. So in that case, what I do is I can set that environment variables in my environment itself. So this is the alternative way of setting the variables path and class path in my environment. So what I can do is in my computer I can go to the properties and then in advanced I have an option called environment variables where I can set path as well as the class path. So whatever the path I have set in the command window, if I set it here, this will be applicable for all the command windows that I open hereafter. So, if I have already opened some windows, that will not be applied to that window, I can close that. This environment variables is set for the system, and whenever I open a command window, all these path is applicable to that particular command window. So, this is one time work that we do in order to compile and run a Java program. So, as a summary, in this session we have seen about the control structures, for loop and decision making statements, and we have seen how to install, how to set a path and class path, even we have seen how to compile and execute a Java program. So, from this session we will be able to answer question like how to install JDK, why and how to set path and class path, how to compile and execute a Java program. So, in your forthcoming session we will be having a look on what are all the various IAPIs available in Java, as well as what are all the concepts that we have in Java. Thank you.